Maryborough has a bit of a reputation of being a town that is quite disadvantaged in the sense that there's a lot of unemployment, a lot of people who have issues in terms of mental health, who might not be getting access to services here.
We also have transport problems here that people can't actually get out of Maryborough to attend appointments in Ballarat or Bendigo easily. So there is one bus, one train out of here to Ballarat a day.
The Maryborough Therapeutic Justice Project arose out of a need that was recognised when the legal service here, we were looking at clients who had matters to do with child protection or family violence, but they also might have had criminal matters that needed to be dealt with as part of that whole package. We were dealing with clients that were quite vulnerable in terms of having a lot of different health and other needs that they needed to be addressed as part of all that. So we looked around to get some funding in order to be able to run a program where we might be able to have a social worker work alongside a lawyer to help people who are quite vulnerable in those needs and to try and deal in a holistic way with all their social, health and legal needs all at once.
We're working alongside colleagues at the Maryborough District Health Service so that we can facilitate more fluid referrals for people who have got a multitude of issues occurring in their lives. So it might not just be a legal issue that's informing their family violence matter or their criminal offending. It might be issues around debt, it might be issues around housing, it might be issues around family law matters.
People's lives are complex. I think we provide that conduit for them to be able to access support services that work for them. We're not time limited. Our referral processes are very easy. Our eligibility criteria is not onerous. It makes a big difference, I think.
So much of our work is really trying to ensure that clients get an appropriate targeted referral once we've dealt with the duty matter, so that we can then come back to court if there's criminal charges and say, well, look, the client is willing to engage with this, that and the other service off their own back, so that they can be seen to be motivated to deal with their issues themselves. So on one level, it's almost like a community empowerment model.
That helped me a lot to do my paperwork, my documents, to be I can control my money at the bank.
A typical client, they often end up with an undertaking or a community corrections order. And so one of those conditions might be that they need to have a mental health plan. Now, some people, they don't even have GPs, they don't even know how to go about it, they're daunted by even making the process. So it might even be that I actually make an appointment, and sometimes I even will go with them to make sure that they actually get a mental health plan from their GP. And from then we can then refer them into an appropriate counsellor for them to receive the assistance that they need. So that's a pretty common thing that I do.
Sometimes in meetings with clients, if we're not discussing particular legal issues, then we'd work with Tanya, who's the social worker, who come along to those meetings and meet the client and know what the client needs to do and understands what the client needs to do to support their legal case. So her role then would be to go off and do a lot of that work alongside the clients, and that's really recognised, I think, by the magistrates. A lot of them are quite prepared to allow clients to have more time, for example, to defer sentencing so that they can engage in some of these programs, because they know they're going to have someone who's active working with them and making sure that they keep on track. So they're prepared to give them those adjournments for them to get there. So in the outcome at the end could be they get an undertaking or something, which is a lot less than what they might have got if they weren't able to engage with a social worker and be involved in that program.
I think they go above and beyond a lot of times with their clients, and with the introduction of Tanya, the social worker, into the program, it's even expanded more what they do.